From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And it is 5 o'clock here on your Friday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Nicole Griffin. Here are your headlines on this November 13th. As COVID-19 cases reach an all-time high, all Marion County schools are being required to go virtual. Our Kelsey Anderson explains what this means for you and your students.
One of the first patients to be treated with the Eli Lilly new COVID-19 antibody treatment is right here in Indiana. We'll get an inside look at his experience and how the treatment works.
And Indy's Winter Farmers Market is back and helping Hoosiers eat healthy during the pandemic. What you can expect this year when you shop the locally grown food. Thanks so much for starting your morning with us here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm in for Raphael this morning. And Lauren, I know I turned on the heat in my car. It's a little chilly out there.
Oh yeah, I had my heat cranked all the way up because I'm a baby. I also had my seat heaters on, my scarf.
Your scarf.
Yeah, especially early in the morning, Kyle. I just like to be bundled up and cozy, but a lot of people may need a coat or heat in the car today.
Yeah, you're going to need the heat on. And earlier in the week, you know, we were probably opening up the windows, rolling the window down in the car. You're going to want to make sure that that is rolled up nice and tight this morning. We've got some cool numbers out there as you head out on this Friday morning. A couple of very light showers here. Those are passing mainly north of Kokomo there, across portions of Peru and Miami County, maybe a couple of sprinkles. That's really going to be about it as a light weather system is moving through the area. Then we're going to clear out those skies. Our temperature right now, 40 degrees in Indianapolis, Lafayette 41. The winds are fairly calm out there. Bloomington a little colder with mostly clear skies at 37. As we look at our forecast today, we'll find temperatures making their way into the lower 50s. A little bit breezy, that northwest wind around 10 to possibly 15 miles per hour. The temperature trend over the next several days, we are near to below average, but things do look to be warming up. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes, but Lauren has a check of your morning traffic.
All right, Kyle, we do have an issue to tell you about. This is 2 hours south down in the Bartholomew County area. You can see the orange there on our map. Crews are working two semis crashed here on northbound I-65. This happened near Lowell, a little bit before US 31 and the interchange down there. So just keep that in mind. This will impact drivers again, kind of in Bartholomew County or south of there who are traveling north, trying to get closer to Edinburgh this morning. So keep that in mind. You'll want to use US 31 as your detour for now, and we'll keep you updated on when that area reopens. Let's take a look though back here closer to home at I-65 and 30th Street. This is north of downtown where traffic's moving along up to speed. We'll continue to keep you updated on any crashes or delays that could impact your commute this Friday morning. So it's been a possibility since the beginning of this unprecedented school year, but by the end of the month, all Marion County students, they're going to be out of the classroom and back to virtual learning.
That's one part of a new county health order that tightens restrictions as COVID-19 cases skyrocket. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with resources for Marion County students and parents. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren and Nicole. So yesterday, Mayor Joe Hogsett announcing that all Marion County schools, both public and private, need to be completely virtual by November 30th. But some of those schools have already decided to move to that stage starting on Monday. That's causing parents to have to scramble and kind of get everything together in a very quick amount of time. So for many Hoosier families, normalcy is very important for their everyday life. And through this pandemic, things have just not been normal. We spoke to Jessica Moore, and she says now that her kid's private school is required to go virtual again, that normalcy isn't going to come easy. Schools in Marion County, public and private, have been ordered to go to virtual learning by November 30th. This order will last through January 15th. Moore hopes the government steps in to offer some help during this time because she knows people are going to struggle with this change.
Whether it's through employment, through health care, access to food, childcare, because there are a whole lot of folks who are essential workers who are still having to go to work every day and then trying to figure out what you're going to do with your kids.
So there are currently 3 community learning sites open across Indianapolis where parents can bring their students for a day of free supervised e-learning. Those sites were recently extended through December 17th, and you can find the locations and register at communitylearningsites.org. And you can head to WRTV.com or download WRTV News app to learn more about what your school district's plan is as they transition back to virtual learning. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. And later this morning, we will learn more about IPS's plan to transition to e-learning. The district already announced they would go remote for all grades starting Monday, November 23rd. That's a week earlier than Marion County's requirement. We will update you with the very latest on their plans on the WRTV News app and on our news at noon.
It is 5:05 and Mayor Hogsett announced a number of other restrictions that go into effect on Monday. Self-service buffets, salad bars, karaoke, those things are all banned. The midnight closure requirement is expanded to all non-essential hospitality and entertainment businesses. Indoor capacity is reduced to 25% at several places, including bars, museums, cultural sites, movie theaters, bowling alleys, entertainment venues, and gyms. Social gatherings are limited to 25 people. We have more on these restrictions and plans for school districts right now on our website, WRTV.com.
With the continuing surge in COVID-19, Indiana has surpassed another record with more than 6,000 new cases. The State Department of Health is reporting 6,654 new cases. That is 1,500 more than the previous single-day record set on Wednesday. 51 new deaths were also reported. 4,563 Hoosiers have died with the virus since the pandemic began.
It is 5:06 in this morning. One of the first COVID patients in the country to receive Eli Lilly's new FDA-authorized antibody treatment is being treated right here in Indiana. David Schultz was given Bamlanivimab at the Clark Memorial Hospital in Jeffersonville. Schultz is a doctor on the front lines treating COVID patients. He tested positive for the virus himself a couple of days ago, and he described how the treatment worked.
They hooked me up to an IV, and they gave me the 1-hour infusion of the monoclonal antibody, and then observed me for about an hour after that and sent me home. It was a very easy process. There were no side effects to it, and I'm assured that this is going to speed up my recovery, as all the research shows that.
Well, patients eligible for this treatment must be at least 12 years old with mild to moderate symptoms and likely develop the illness more severely. Availability is limited. If you believe you're a candidate for the new treatment, you should call your doctor or medical provider.
Amid the pandemic, health and wellness are top of mind for most everyone. And this morning, our Kelsey Anderson shows us how the Indy Winter Farmers Market is working to bring more healthy food to Hoosiers.
The Indy Winters Farmers Market has been bringing locally grown and produced food to Hoosiers for 12 years. This video is from last year, and market manager Danielle Guerin tells me things look a lot different now amid the pandemic. They went from having 65 vendors to this year having just about 45. Guerin says they have one-way entrances and one-way exits, and they're doing everything they can to keep the community safe and healthy this winter. She tells me in the first week of the market, Hoosiers showed up for their health.
Well, in our first market, a lot of our vendors talked about they had a lot more sales this season than they had in previous seasons. So we had a lot of turnout coming in. We get around 500 people come through the doors on Saturday. So that was really great, and a lot of our vendors were really excited because, again, they said they had increased sales. Someone said even better than the summer markets they've had. So a lot of people are still like, in these colder months, they're focused on their health and their wellness and trying to have more local food.
Don't forget, the market also has triple match SNAP benefits, meaning if you bring in $20 with your EBT card or pandemic EBT card, they will give you an extra $20 in SNAP benefits and also another $20 in Fresh Bucks, which is Marion County's health department's program that allows you to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables.
Kelsey, thank you. And the market is held at the Circle City Industrial Complex every Saturday through April. It opens tomorrow at 9 a.m., starting with the first hour just for seniors and others who are high risk. And Kyle, if you're heading out to the farmers market, do people need to bundle up tomorrow?
Yeah, you'll still need to layer up. I don't think you're going to need the umbrella in the morning. That may change, though, as we go later in the day. As far as rainfall for the month here of November, we've kind of transitioned back to this drier than average pattern. We've only picked up about 1/4 of an inch of rain. There you can see that's more than an inch below average for the city of Indianapolis. Today, not going to have any rainfall, so you can leave that umbrella at home. You might want to grab it, though, as we go Saturday, especially if you're going to be out there the second half of the day. And then Sunday, it's really in the early morning hours. I think much of Sunday will actually be dry, with more of a wind being our issue. But as far as how much rain we're expecting this weekend, generally about 1/3 to 1/2 inch of wet weather, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder. We're going to break down that rain timeline for you, though, here a little closer in a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. A new opportunity for future teachers. Coming up, how one local program is helping to train more teachers and improve diversity in the classroom.
And the Colts bouncing back with a W last night. A look at their important win against the Titans and what it means for the possibility of the playoffs. It's 5:09. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back. In Hiring Hoosiers this morning, new grants are giving opportunities for local teachers focusing on bringing more diversity to the classroom. A 2017 survey showed 93% of Indiana's teachers were white. To help address that, Relay Graduate School of Indiana is using grants from the organization AmeriCorps to help students overcome barriers they might face to get a higher education. I talked with Dillian Williams, who is participating in the program.
It wasn't until college that I had my first experience with educators and professors who were Black, who were people of color, who were Black women. And that was really important and transformative in the way that I not only saw education, but also the way in which I saw myself.
Well, AmeriCorps is not only paying for a majority of her tuition, but she also earns a salary and stipend for everyday living expenses. She is working alongside a lead teacher at KIPP Indy Unite Elementary School in Indianapolis for her first year. After the 2-year program, she will have her Master's of Arts in Teaching. For more information about this opportunity, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
At 5:14, a new Black Lives Matter mural will officially be installed in Bloomington this afternoon. This is video of the volunteers working on the project at the end of October. The street mural will be located along Elm Street beside the Banneker Community Center. Bloomington Mayor John Hamilton released a statement saying that the city is proud to have the words Black Lives Matter on the street and that they look forward to addressing the long-standing issues of racism in the community. The mural will be dedicated at 4:30 this afternoon, and it will be streamed live on the community center's Facebook page.
The FDA is now calling on food manufacturers to include sesame on labels. About 1.5 million Americans are allergic to sesame, but it's not one of the food allergens legally required to be labeled. That means people often have to do their own research to stay safe. Even then, they can hit roadblocks.
One of the trickiest parts with sesame is often you'll see on a label natural flavors or spices that may contain sesame, often does contain sesame. And at this point, if you call a food manufacturer to inquire if it does contain sesame, they'll say, well, it's a proprietary formula. We can't tell you.
The FDA doesn't have the authority to change the law. This guidance simply asks manufacturers to voluntarily label foods containing sesame.
Well, Costco is updating its mask policy in its stores. Soon, all members and employees, including those with medical conditions, must wear a face covering. The new requirement will go into effect on Monday. Costco was one of the first retailers to mandate masks back in May, but it did not have those with medical conditions in the requirement. Now their policy says if a shopper has a medical condition, they must wear a face shield instead. Children under the age of 2 are still exempt. Despite most travel being discouraged for Thanksgiving this year, American Airlines is boosting its flight schedule. They still expect a holiday rush, and they're increasing their flights to 4,000 a day. United Airlines is also increasing its capacity by adding 1,400 more domestic flights a week. They say Thanksgiving week will be its busiest since March. At 5:16, let's toss things over to Kyle for a look at today's forecast. Pretty chilly out there, Kyle.
Yeah, we're getting adjusted to this now, feeling more like November, and it's going to be settling in for the next several days. We got temperatures in the 30s for you this morning. Bloomington at 37, 36 in Terre Haute, right at 40 degrees in Indy and 41 in Lafayette. Look back to the northwest, it could be a whole lot colder. Fortunately, not this core of cold is going to be making it to central Indiana. That will be staying off to the north, but still, we're going to be on the cool side today. Temperatures that will make their way into the lower 40s here at 10 a.m., but then they don't warm a whole lot from there. We'll only get into the middle and upper 40s this afternoon across much of central Indiana, then back into the upper 30s already at 6 o'clock this evening. Your high 44 today in Frankfort and Lafayette, 47 degrees in Anderson. Average high is in the lower to middle 50s, so we're certainly missing the mark there a little bit. You'll be at 50 degrees, though, in Shelbyville, 47 in Rockville, Richmond, at 51, and we'll find those temperatures lower to middle 50s, a little more manageable for you around Bedford at 53 and 52 in Columbus. But fortunately, we will have some sunshine today, so that'll help out as well. Not going to see a lot of sun this weekend, though. Saturday and Sunday, clouds around. Rain develops on Saturday. It's out of here pretty early in the day on Sunday with those highs in the 50s. So here's a look at TrueCast. This is noon on Saturday. Still dry, increasing those clouds from the south. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, scattered light showers. That's what we're expecting. So I think we will have several dry hours on Saturday. It's especially overnight on Saturday where we'll have more widespread rain, maybe a couple of thunderstorms in the mix as well. As we go to 5 a.m. already, TrueCast pushing the rain out of here early on Sunday morning. May see a few of those showers lingering, but you can see about 1/3 to 1/2 inch of rain is expected, and certainly we could use that here in what's been a fairly dry month. But it's also going to be windy with that rain moving through. Saturday night, we'll see those wind gusts ramping up to around 40 miles per hour, and that's likely to continue here as we get into the day on Sunday and really throughout the day until we get into the evening hours. So a windy day there. Temperature-wise for us, upper 40s today. Again, a little bit warmer here as we go into Saturday and Sunday, but I think Saturday will be a late day high for us. Temperatures around 50 degrees Monday and Tuesday as we see sunshine back in the forecast. And then there are signs that things are going to be warming up as we go toward Thursday. Highs are back in the lower 60s, which should feel pretty good. Lauren.
All right, Kyle, thank you. We want to take a look right now at that traffic alert we've been telling you down in the Bartholomew County area. This is a semi crash involving 2 semis. These are pictures courtesy of Sheriff Matt Myers down in that area. And you can see here a lot of damage to the vehicles and cabs there. So we don't know any injuries or anything like that at this time, but we do know that the interstate northbound is closed. So let's take a look right now at our traffic now maps and take you all the way down here to Bartholomew County. You can see the orange there on our map as you're traveling northbound heading towards US 31. The crash happened just before US 31 there. So if you're in Bartholomew County or areas south of that trying to head up north towards Edinburgh, you will need to reroute, maybe use US 31 as a detour instead, and we'll continue to keep you updated on that and let you know when it's back open. Let's take another camera right now. This one's up at I-69 near State Road 13 where traffic's moving along smoothly northbound and southbound. No major delays to slow you down, and of course we'll keep you updated. Nicole.
Lauren, thank you. Well, the Colts taking home a big win against the Tennessee Titans and moving to the top of the AFC South last night. WRTV's Brad Brown has highlights from this key victory.
The Colts and Titans played a largely back-and-forth first half on Thursday night. Indy trailed by 4 at halftime, but the game really turned to the Colts' favor in the third quarter. After a 15-play drive came up empty, the Colts got one back. Nyheim Hines' second touchdown of the game put the Colts in the lead. A minute later, special teams comes up with a blocked punt. E.J. Speed got through the line for the deflection. T.J. Carey picks up the loose ball and runs it in for 6. The barrage continued in the fourth quarter. Jacoby Brissett got the call to come in for a 1-yard touchdown sneak. 24 straight points for the Colts would put this game away. The defense was just stellar down the stretch, holding Tennessee scoreless in the second half. A key 34-17 win for the Colts as they take over the division lead with the win.
It was a little bit of redemption from last week, but no, I think they only count one. You know, we got another big one this week, and then again against these guys in 2 weeks. So this was important, though. I mean, it's 1-0, but we came in ready to play and had the right mindset, and then finished it off.
You can enjoy it a little bit, but I still think that mindset has got to be all right. You know, we don't go take care. You know, you got to keep going because we will, unless we continue to get better and continue to find ways to win football games. We'll look back at this one on November 12th and say, well, that was a cool game, but it didn't matter.
The AFC South looks like this now. Both teams are 6-3, but the Colts get the tiebreaker with Thursday's win. They'll do it again with the Titans here at Lucas Oil Stadium on November 29th. Colts host the Packers next Sunday. Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
Brad, thank you. And the IU football team hopes to continue making history in their matchup this weekend. The Hoosiers are ranked in the AP Top 10 for only the second time in the school's history. They'll try to stay unbeaten when they face Michigan State, and you can watch that game live at noon tomorrow right here on WRTV.
Holidays will be a little different this year, and food companies are trying something different as well. Coming up, a look at some interesting dishes now on store shelves for Thanksgiving.
Welcome back. So you may have a lot less people at your house this Thanksgiving, and that means you may not want to take the time to cook that full turkey.
Well, that is why Purdue Foods is offering a new alternative, Thanks Nuggets. They are exactly what they sound like, nuggets made out of turkey. They come in 2 varieties, dark turkey meat and cranberry and breast meat. The nuggets go on sale today, and cooking instructions say they only take 12 minutes to heat up. Nice and quick.
Yeah, that sounds like something I could handle. Probably the only thing I could handle in terms of cooking, but interesting. Yeah. I would go with the breast meat, I think, but I don't get why it's with cranberry.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big cranberry fan.
Me neither, so I don't know why they did that, but okay. So, and to go with the nuggets, you could use a festive ketchup, right? Candy canes. What? Mix some holidays. A Seattle-based novelty shop, Archie McPhee, created the interesting treats just in time for the holiday season. If you don't think that sounds good, they also have mac and cheese, faux, shiitake mushroom flavors as well. Those don't sound any better to me, but each pack costs $6.50 on the company's website. There you go, Kyle. He's like, ooh.
I like ketchup as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
But not in candy, not in a candy cane.
Right.
I mean, I'm not throwing that on a hamburger. It's not like you're going to put it in your hot chocolate.
Put your candy cane on there, yeah.
And shiitake mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms either. So
Me neither.
I'm out. I'm going to save my $6.50 and I'll get some traditional candy canes. I'll get like 3 boxes of those.
Right.
All right, well, let's talk about some weather, shall we? Let's warm you up. Maybe you're getting that cup of coffee or some hot chocolate this morning. We got 40 degrees on the thermometer, feels like 37, so a few degrees cooler there as we've got a light southwest wind at 5 miles per hour. Those winds, though, they will be turning out of the northwest as we go through today with lots of sunshine. Temperatures will be in the 40s for us, only around 45, and then rain chances Saturday night. They ramp up into Sunday morning.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Well, we know winter will be here soon, so just ahead here on Good Morning Indiana, we'll show you how a local organization is making sure that kids stay warm and how you can help them. It's 5:27. We'll be right back.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
New coronavirus restrictions are coming to Marion County. Now at 5:30, what you and your family need to know about the changes.
The new public health order brings new requirements for Marion County schools, how parents are preparing for the changes, and a look at what help is out there if you need it for you and your students. Here at 5:30, I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. Guys, we finally made it to Friday. For me, anyways. I know you guys will be here all weekend long. Yeah, right. But thanks for coming in to help me out this morning, Nicole.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here, Lauren. And meteorologist Kyle Mounts is standing by. And Kyle, this weekend is looking a lot different than last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend we were probably wearing some shorts. I'm sure some of us were, and enjoying rolling the window down and that kind of thing. This weekend you're not going to want to do any of that because we're going to have some cool temperatures, and at times you may need the umbrella. Out there this morning, we've got a disturbance moving through. It's bringing just a very little bit of light rain. You can already see that most of that is east of the WRTV area here, so just a couple of sprinkles there in eastern portions of Howard County. Temperatures right now running from the middle 30s to lower 40s. 40 degrees in Indy and Martinsville. It's 37 for you in Bloomington, Connorsville at 38 degrees. Winds, they are not an issue for us right now, but with the front back to the west, look at Champaign. It's out of the northwest now at around 20 miles per hour. So we'll get a little breezy and gusty here as we go through the morning and into the afternoon. Temperatures as a result, they will hold there in the upper 30s through 8 a.m. only to the mid 40s as we get a little closer to that lunch hour. Lauren.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out the door this Friday morning. Here's a look in downtown I-65, a view here of Washington Street exit. You can see traffic there. It's traveling smoothly northbound and southbound. We don't have any problems to slow you down, so that is great news here in downtown Indy. But let's travel south, taking a look at our traffic now map all the way down here in Bartholomew County, where there's a major cleanup underway. 2 semis crashing along northbound I-65 just before US 31. That area is still closed, so you'll need to take US 31 as your detour, some side streets to get through that area this morning. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated. At 5:32, another record-setting day for new coronavirus cases here in Indiana. For the first time on Thursday, the state topping 6,000 reports in just one day.
And as cases continue to rise across the state, here in Marion County, new restrictions are going into effect to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett announcing the changes just one day after Governor Eric Holcomb pulled the state out of stage 5. All but 5 Indiana counties are in the orange or red status, meaning a moderate to high risk of community spread. Marion County, which never made it to stage 5, is in the orange with a 7-day positivity rate of nearly 10%. Mayor Hogsett says he is making an effort to slow the spread of the virus in public places, and it's as important as taking precautions at private and smaller family events.
Please recognize that this virus doesn't care if you are in public or not. And social gatherings that you have at your house are just as dangerous. I want to be blunt. There is no responsible way to pretend that this Thanksgiving and the ensuing holiday season that follows will in any way be normal.
Here's a snapshot now of some of the changes that will take effect in Marion County beginning on Monday. Bars and entertainment venues will be capped at 25% indoor capacity, restaurants at 50%, large gatherings will be capped at 25% capacity, and religious events at 75%. Gyms and fitness studios will be capped at 25% capacity. We have the full list of restrictions right now at WRTV.com.
Mayor Joe Hogsett also announcing that schools must transition to virtual learning by November 30th. Our own Kelsey Anderson joins us live with how parents are reacting to this big change. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So Marion County health officials are saying that we are at a critical point right now in the fight against COVID-19. They're suspecting that we will probably see over 1,000 cases a day soon just here in Marion County if we don't change things quickly. So again, those schools are going to have to be all virtual by November 30th, and they're all going to have to go to that virtual learning, every school, public and private, here in Marion County. So we spoke to Casey Chambers. She's substituting for a teacher in Wayne Township who is out on quarantine because of COVID-19. She says she and other teachers weren't shocked by the news yesterday, many saying it was just a matter of time. And though the countywide order doesn't require schools to go virtual until November 30th, the superintendent emailed families yesterday saying they'll actually be returning to e-learning next Monday, the 16th, 2 weeks early.
Some of them were like, okay, we've got this, that's good. And then there's some that was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We've got to do this. We got to do that. We got to get this done. We got to get that done. I wasn't prepared for it this soon.
The Health Department Director, Dr. Virginia Kane, says the county's original threshold for going fully virtual was 13% positivity, with high schools now at 18% and middle schools at 14% positivity. She says numbers are simply trending in the wrong direction. Though Chambers says her family struggled initially and was against e-learning because of issues with internet, she'd rather they be safe and healthy. Now, there are 3 community learning center sites across Indianapolis that parents and students can utilize, and we've got more information on that, plus a closer look at your school's virtual learning plan over on WRTV.com. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. And one thing that is not changing under the Marion County Public Health Order, church capacity. Right now, they can be at 75%, and it is expected to stay that way. We spoke to Pastor James Jackson of Fervent Prayer Church. He says COVID-19 precautions like temperature checks, social distancing markers, and extra sanitation efforts are already in place at his church. But Pastor Jackson says many of his parishioners are still choosing to attend virtually, and that could be the case for a while.
Things were already changing for a lot of people, and I think that COVID-19 accelerated that change. I think we're seeing a new generation of godly people or churchgoers who may not always arrive at the public worship space, but they're still worshiping, and the worship is in their hands.
Pastor Jackson says if the demand for in-person services increases, he will add additional service times to make sure they never have to turn anyone away.
As the surge of coronavirus cases continues, WRTV is working for you, keeping a close eye on hospitals and checking with the staff. At IU Health, roughly 200 nurses are either sick with COVID-19 or under quarantine because of exposure. Doctors there tell us that the shortage is creating a strain. All IU Health medical centers across the state are caring for more COVID patients. That's a different picture from the spring when the majority of the cases are being handled by hospitals in the Indianapolis metro area. Right now, there are 278 COVID positive patients at IU medical facilities, but the news of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine is bringing hope, and hospitals are already making plans on how the doses will be stored and distributed once they arrive.
As you know, we're expecting the first vaccine to be the vaccine from Pfizer, so it needs -70 °C storage. The state has developed a very nice comprehensive plan for vaccine placement and distribution, and a lot of it will be coming directly to around 50 hospitals. But there are 5 sort of pre-placement large hospitals scattered around the state, and our IU Health Methodist Hospital is one of those. So at some point, we don't really know when, we'll get a shipment that we need to keep in ultra cold storage.
Well, the FedEx hub in Indianapolis, the company's second largest express hub, recently installed ultra-cold freezers to help ship COVID-19 vaccines once they're available. The shipping giant says it's been planning for months how to handle the transportation of vaccines as they are approved for use.
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way we do life, but it is not stopping grassroots organization Creating a New Society from hosting their 6th annual coat drive. For Nicole Glass and her team, there was no question about whether the event would happen because the pandemic has left many families with less money at a time when most would be preparing for winter. The group plans to give away more than 400 coats, and even though the event will look different this year with COVID-19 safety measures in place, Glass says keeping a child warm should never be something families have to worry about.
I'll say it again and again, no parent should have to have that worry keeping their child warm. No child should be on their way to school and have to worry about the frigid temperatures.
The coat drive is this Saturday starting at 9 a.m. at the John Bonner Center. Coats are free for kids 17 and under. Children who receive coats must be present. Any family that arrives can also take home free food. It is all while supplies last. Kyle, looks like the kids might need those coats this weekend.
Yeah, it's on the cool side. Want to show you some warmer colors on the map, though, because we are running about 5 to 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. But that could be some false confidence for you because as we go into the afternoon, our temperature is actually ending cooler than what we had on Thursday at just 48. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine. It'll be a little breezy at times. And then on Saturday, the rain develops for us. We'll get a late day high of 52, middle 50s on Sunday. Rain should be out of here pretty early in the day. For many of us, I think that'll be before sunrise. It will be windy there, though, as we could have wind gusts on Sunday, 30 to 40 miles per hour. Looking ahead here toward the Thanksgiving holiday, and we're talking about temperatures running above average. There's that average high. It continues to get a little cooler in the 40s, but I don't think we're finished with the 60s just yet. That's coming up in the 7-day forecast.
All right, Kyle, thank you. A coronavirus vaccine could be available by the end of the month. This morning, how federal health leaders are planning for this monumental distribution.
Plus, federal and state leaders are releasing their reports on election security. Still ahead, their findings on election tampering and illegal ballots. It's 5:41. Stay with us. Tomorrow, attorneys for the family of Drejon Reed will speak for the very first time since the grand jury decision was announced. Tuesday, Special Prosecutor Rosemary Corey said the grand jury declined to indict Officer DeJour Mercer. He is the IMPD officer who shot and killed Reed after a high-speed vehicle pursuit and a foot chase back in May. Saturday's press conference will be at 11 in the morning at Emmaus Christian Church near Lafayette Square Mall. Indy 10 Black Lives Matter is planning a march for justice following the conference.
Flu shots are pretty widely available at pharmacies, a status federal health officials are hoping to achieve with the COVID-19 vaccine. In that spirit, an agreement has just been reached with pharmacies to offer free coronavirus shots once they become available. The deal covers the major chain drugstores, grocery market pharmacies, and other networks. Some names include Walmart, Walgreens, and Costco. Overall, the agreement accounts for about 3 in 5 pharmacies in all 50 states.
The Internal Revenue Service is racing to reach people who have not gotten stimulus checks yet. The deadline is November 21st. The IRS says it sent 9 million letters in September to people who may have missed out on the $1,200 payment. Most eligible Americans receive their checks automatically during the spring and summer, but those who don't normally file tax returns have to register online. For anyone who misses the November 21st deadline, you can still get your stimulus money next year after filing your 2020 tax returns. Another 709,000 Americans filed first-time claims for unemployment benefits last week on a seasonally adjusted basis. There were also nearly 300,000 new pandemic unemployment assistant filings. The program gives benefits to those who aren't eligible for normal state aid, such as people who are self-employed. Many people have gone back to work, but millions still aren't employed. Continued jobless claims, which count people who have filed for benefits for at least 2 weeks in a row, was at 6.8 million last week.
A coalition of federal and state officials are saying the 2020 election was the most secure in history. The announcement comes from a joint statement by Elections Infrastructure Government Coordinating Council. The council is made up of cybersecurity and election experts. Despite claims from the president of voter fraud, the coalition is saying there's no evidence any state voting system had deleted, lost, or changed any votes. In addition, they say that all states with close results have paper records, allowing for a recount if necessary. At 5:46, it's Friday, so let's get a look at our forecast today, Kyle.
Yeah, and the forecast today, Lauren, not looking too bad. Certainly a little on the cool side, but we will see more sunshine today. 40 degrees for us right now downtown. We got upper 30s in Shelbyville and Kokomo coming in at 39. Had a quick moving weather system that brought a couple of very light showers around Logansport and Peru this morning, but that is already east of the WRTV area, and you can see here on TrueCast, those showers will continue to move out. That leaves us with mostly sunny skies here as we go throughout our Friday, so the sunshine will be nice. It's going to be a little breezy here as we get that sun back in the forecast. Northwest winds around 10, possibly 15 miles per hour for us. Your temperature 43 degrees at 10 a.m. So we're not going to move a whole lot here as we go into the afternoon, despite the bright skies. Only around 46 here at 2 o'clock and 45 as we get to 4 o'clock this afternoon. So your high temperature, we'll make it into the lower 50s around Bloomington and Columbus, but that's more the exception than the rule. The rest of us in the 40s, even just 44 degrees in Lafayette, while you're at 49 this afternoon in Muncie. So heading out to some football games, layer up there for sure. We've got temperatures already in the upper 30s for you here at 8 o'clock. Fortunately, the winds will be fairly light, around 5 miles per hour for us. Your Saturday planning forecast, we're going to start off upper 20s to around 30 degrees, so it will be a cold start to the day, and those temperatures still in the 30s at 10 a.m. Noticeably, more clouds will be building into the area, and as we go into the afternoon and evening hours, we've got the chance for some rain moving back into the Hoosier State here. So here's a look at TrueCast. Midday on Saturday, still mainly dry. Could see a couple of showers around Sullivan into portions of Greene County here, and then we'll see light scattered shower activity as we go into the evening hours across the rest of the state. Best widespread rain chances, those are going to come in here as we go through the evening and overnight hours of Saturday. Maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder in there as well. And then this should move pretty quickly. By the time we get into early Sunday morning, most of the rain is east of central Indiana, and most of the models coming in about a half to about 6/10 of an inch of rain coming our way here through the weekend. Wind, that's going to be the other half of this weather story, and this is a look at Saturday afternoon. Still not too bad with those wind gusts out of the south around 25 miles per hour, but as we get into Saturday night and Sunday, wind gusts will be a little closer to 40 miles per hour. 7-day forecast, put it all together for you, and sunshine returns next week with highs right around 50.
All right, Kyle, thanks. Let's get a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this Friday morning. Here's a spot where things are picking up a little bit. I-465, a view near Man Road on the southwest side. Traffic is traveling up to speed and all lanes are open, both eastbound and westbound. We'll keep you updated if there are any other problem spots you need to avoid for your commute. Nicole?
PTSD patients can now use an app to fight terrifying nightmares. The FDA approved the NightWare app to help people get out of a nightmare. The app is only available on Apple Watches and requires a prescription before it can be downloaded. The app monitors a person's heart rate and movement while they are asleep. If it believes the person is in the middle of a nightmare, the watch sends small vibrations to get them out of the nightmare without waking them up.
Well, doctors have found what they believe to be a breakthrough treatment for brain cancer. Doctors at the University of Michigan found a new way to use nanoparticles to target brain tumors like a glioblastoma. Nanoparticles can create a timed release of medication, which means it can be given in fewer doses. Doctors give this treatment to mice infected with glioblastoma. 7 of the 8 survived their cancer, and their body prevented it from growing back. Skipping your dental appointment because of COVID-19 fears could be a bad excuse. The American Dental Association estimates less than 1% of dentists nationwide had a confirmed or probable COVID diagnosis. Researchers surveyed nearly 2,200 dentists in June about their own health and safety measures taken to protect patients. Dentists reported more deep cleaning of common surfaces. They also used ultrasound technology to limit the amount of aerosol from a patient's mouth.
The health benefits of running are well known, but a new study shows some downsides to being too passionate about it. Researchers at the University of South Australia investigated what they call runner's addiction. They say this is when people are so obsessive about running it takes over their lives. Their study showed people described as obsessively passionate about running were more likely to ignore injuries and suffer from damaged relationships. The study showed those ignored injuries led to more days missed at work and reduced productivity.
Well, plenty of people enjoy sipping on a glass of Mountain Dew. Coming up, by the makers of the soft drink hope that you'll cook with it as well. It's 5:51. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back. Mountain Dew is celebrating its 80th birthday by giving fans a special treat. The soft drink brand is launching its first ever cookbook. It will feature nearly 40 recipes, all designed with fans in mind. There's Mountain Dew salsas and barbecue sauces, Mountain Dew brisket and turkey. There's even green mozzarella bites and Mountain Dew infused pickles. The cookbook will be sold on the newly launched online Dew store starting next week. A Christmas gift idea.
Okay, there you go. And an Iowa high school football team is rewriting the record books this week. The two teams scored a whopping 202 points. For anyone who doesn't know, that's extremely rare. A high-scoring high school game might be in the 40s, but the Ramsden St. Mary's Hawks defeated the Montezuma Braves 108-94. Scoreboard couldn't go as high as the score, so the Hawks just showed infinity. Congratulations to both teams. Kyle, I don't know if there was no defense on the field for either of those teams, or they didn't let the clock run, but
some impressive talent.
Yeah, I guess so. Or not on the other side. Who knows?
Well, yeah, there are two sides.
Yeah.
Every story, isn't there? All right. Well, if you're going to be heading out to some of the football games this evening, we're going to have temperatures in the 30s already. So you're going to need the coat. Maybe take the blanket along as well. Rainfall, we could still use some of that. The latest drought monitor released yesterday still has some areas of moderate drought just south of Indy. And as we look toward Monticello areas, we do get in on some rainfall for the upcoming weekend. Saturday night especially into very early on Sunday morning. We're looking at about a ½ inch of rain, maybe a little bit more than that in a couple of locations, but it should be a quick hitting system. We'll take a closer look at that timeline for the wet weather coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. One of the first patients to be treated with Eli Lilly's new COVID-19 antibody treatment is right here in Indiana. Coming up at 6, he's sharing his experience so far.
Plus, with schools moving to remote learning, kids are not flocking to school lunch lines. Coming up, new at 6 o'clock, how one local school district is making sure their students still get the fresh produce. It's 5:57. Stick around. We'll be right back.